Hello YouTubers, this is Luis from On-Site Towing and Recovery in Middletown, New York. On this video, we're going to talk a little bit about hiring. As many of you know, we're in an industry where there's a lot of unprofessionals and finding quality help is very, very tough. So you put your ad out, you get some applicants. What I like to do before I even give them an application is I ask for a resume. Nowadays, there's no excuse to not have a resume or not know how to write one because it's simple as going on Google, getting a template. I'm sure there's an app out there that'll generate it for you, or you can ask somebody else to do it for you. So there's no reason to not have it. And when I normally ask an individual about a resume, I get one of two questions. What do I need a resume for? It's just towing. Or, okay, I'll type one up. Now, what do I need a resume for guy has a piss poor attitude, ain't gonna be a good fit for my team, so that immediately cancels them out. If they're not willing to put the effort into something as simple as a resume, then they're not gonna put the effort into your business. So that's just food for thought. McDonald's asked for a resume. Why can't we in the towing industry? And then once you get the resume, utilize the resume to your advantage. Look at the job history, the time they have spent at these employers. If you notice that they only last 6 months at each of these employers, then you obviously got an issue there. You might want to walk away from that guy. Use the references. Start calling around. Use it as a tool for investigative purposes. The second thing I do, once they get the resume, they get their application, I conduct 3 interviews. I do a phone interview, I do an in-the-shop interview, and the third interview is out in the trucks with me. The out in the trucks I do because I need to see that they are comfortable operating the machine. And through the course of these 3 interviews, I like to ask questions, repetitive questions, to see if they're lying. Law enforcement does it all the time. They ask the same question over and over and over to compare your answers each time. If you ask that question multiple times and each time it's a different answer, then you need to look into this individual a little closer. And obviously, background checks. Background checks can get a little expensive, but utilize it. You can tell a lot by somebody's background. It's typically about $50 for a pretty extensive background. Use those tools as well. If you end up getting what I call a tow company tramp that goes from company to company to company, don't be afraid to call your competitor and say, hey, why didn't this guy work out for you? And usually that's an indication that there's an issue if they're going from company to company to company. Another thing that I like to do here at On-Site is I like to hire drivers with no experience. And the reason why I do that is because I can train them the way that I want. And in this industry, you got a lot of bad habits from the guys with experience, and bad habits are very hard to break. So yes, you spend a little more time training the new guy that has no experience, but I've had nothing but success with utilizing that route. My last 3 employees had no experience, and they are great employees. They're here on time every time. I've had no damage claims with them, and to me, I'll take that any day. So that's pretty much all I got for hiring. If anybody's got tips or recommendations, feel free to comment. These are tips that we can all use in the industry, and it'll help clean up our industry. And ladies and gents, be safe out there and happy towing. Thank you.